Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be finally me doing my second swatch video, and this one is going to be covering the fountain ink that I have, which I do not have a lot, and then all of my stamps. And the reason why I'm doing this is I have two notebooks. If you have not seen any of my previous videos, I did have these two notebooks that are on the Tomoe River Paper, and the first video I did was swatching all of my pens, Tombow, and mild liners, which is in this blue binder, and then in this blue notebook, not binder. And then the fountain pens and stamps I was going to put in this yellow one. And the reason why I'm doing this is currently in my Hobonichi Cousin for 2023, I did a bunch of swatches of all of my pens in my Cousin. I'm regretting that decision because now that I'm going into 2024, I no longer want to flip into my 2023 planner to look at any of my swatches. These little notebooks allow me to continuously update my pens, my mild liners, my fountain ink, my stamps, all that kind of stuff without being tied to a particular planner. So every single year I can move this along with my planner and I don't have to re-swatch over and over and over and over and over again. The point of this video is to update fountain pen ink and stamp ink in the yellow notebook. So if you would be interested to see the inks that I have and the stamps that I have and what they look like on the Tomoe River Paper, then go ahead and keep watching. Now I am going to caveat that this notebook, specifically for fountain pen ink and my stamps, I don't use these mediums, I guess, very often. I am trying to get better, but these are definitely something that I don't use a lot in my planner. But I did actually just order on Amazon a new fountain pen, and this is a black fine nibbed fountain pen. This was only like 20 bucks, but it has a lot of weight to it, and I got it because all of my fountain pens that I currently have are the Twisbys, and they are just, while I like them, they're very nice to use. The pen body is thicker than what I'm used to, so I bought this wanting to try out to see if a thinner body fountain pen would work better, and it does. So I'm getting back into fountain pens, and so hopefully me using some of these inks will actually continue into 2024. So I have already tabbed the pages that I want to use, like when I want to start my stamps and when I want to have the fountain pens. So we are going to work on the fountain pens first, and then we'll move to the stamps next. So we're going to put this little bundle to the side because those are all of my stamps. And then this is the container that I have my inks in. Now I only have 5 inks. These 3 are the 3 Twisby pens that I have. So I have 2 of them currently in here because I'm not using them. And then this is the one that's actually inked right now. The inks that I currently have are the Diamine Archival Registrar ink, which is in this body. This is like a blue black ink, but I got it because it was a registrar's ink, so it's supposed to not smear once it dries. I have the Colorverse Ham ink, and this is a bluish toned ink. It's got like a little bit of a sheen to it. I have the Sailor ink in Yonaga. This again is, I've pretty much stayed in either blue or purple ink. This one is a blue ink. And then I have Diamine Bilberry, which is a purple ink, which you really can't tell from this bottle. And then the ink that I currently have in both of these pens, my Twisby pen and my new Amazon pen, is the Diatramentis Document ink in black. And this I have really been enjoying because it does not smear once it dries, which is what I like. And then to swatch, I bought this glass pen at like Hobby Lobby. It's honestly not the best, but it gets the job done, and it's going to be used to help me swatch on my paper. So that's what we're going to be doing. I have just a little piece of tissue here, and then I have a cup of water, so that way I can clear off my pen after I get done using it. I'm going to start with the Diamine Archival Registrar ink in that blue-black color, and then I'm going to hopefully... I'm honestly really nervous that I'm going to make a mess, so we're going to find out if all goes well. Do that, and then going to, while that dries, going to clean off this pen. And I think I'm just going to go down the line, and then after this dries, I'm going to go ahead and write in the ink names, because it's going to take a little bit for these to dry. And I'll also zoom you in so you can see what they look like. All right, so the next one we're going to use is the Colorverse Ham. Now I know, so this first one I did not swatch it like very good. It kind of just made it into a big blob. I remember doing this the first time I did my fountain pen swatches. I literally did the exact same thing. Apparently I don't learn from my mistakes. And the next one we're going to do is the Sailor Yanaga. And then we're going to do the Diamine Bilberry. And this is the first like purple color that I've gotten. And then the last ink we're going to do is just the Diatramentis Document ink, which is going to be black. It's going to be a basic black color, obviously. Zoom you in so that way you can see what these look like. So the first one, which is kind of hard to really see in the light, get more light over here. So this is the Blue Black Document ink by Diamine. It looks honestly very black in the paper, but it does, when you actually write, kind of have a bluish tinge to it. Then we have the next one, which is the Colorverse Ham, and this is like a blue toned ink. It does have a little bit of a sheen to it. It's got like a little bit of greenish sheen. It's very hard. I don't have the best lighting in this room, unfortunately. I'm trying to get more lights, but it's what I've got right now. This is the Sailor Yanaga. It is still drying, but it's a very dark blue ink. It kind of looks more black than anything, but it does have a little bit of a blue color to it. The next is the Diamine Bilberry. This is purple, and it has a like a goldish sheen to it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see anywhere or see the sheen, but it does have a little bit of a sheen with some like gold flecks. And then the last one is just the black document ink, and that is from Diatramentis. That is what I currently have in both of my fountain pens, and those are literally all the inks that I own. I don't really, like I said, I'm not a fountain pen person, and so we will see as 2024 comes along and how much I enjoy using this fountain pen. I might end up getting more ink, but I'm not sure. I am not a fountain pen person currently, so this is what we have. I'm going to kind of, let me fan it, and then I will do a close-up so that way you can see what the ink looks like on the other side of the paper, because this is Tomoe River Paper and it is very good for fountain pens. But if you're interested about bleed through and all of that. I will definitely show that in just a second. All right, so these have been dried. I don't see any wet spots. Take a tissue just to make sure. Yeah. So this is what the ink looks like dry. I have a light that's right in front of me. I'm hoping to shine a little bit of the shimmer on it. But so if we turn the page over, this is what it looks like. Even with the big mark or the big splotch of ink here, it's really not that bad when you're using this ink. It doesn't like bleed through to where you're not able to write on this side of the paper. So this paper is definitely very good with the fountain pens, and I'm just really quickly going to, I'm just going to use my Muji pen. I could use my fountain pen, but I don't want to wait for it to dry again. I'm just going to write the names of all of these on here so that way I'll know when I go back what I am looking at. Okay, so that is going to take care of all of my fountain pen inks. I did go ahead and make sure to add a couple of, an extra page just in case I do find more inks and I become more of a fountain pen user. I wanted to have additional space so that way I could use it for any other swatches. And then now we're going to move on to my stamps, which I definitely have more of. I'm going to move my inks out of the way. I'm going to empty this water. All right, so all of the inks that I have are going to be from Versa Magic, the chalk ink. I find I like this ink the best out of all of the inks that I have tried so far. This is the one that I think works the best with the Tomoe River Paper. So I'm just really quickly going to stamp them all, and then I'm going to write in what the color names are. And I bought all of these on Amazon. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to stamp using any of my stamps because I don't want to have to deal with washing them every time I need to change a color. Okay. And then what I thought with these, I would just kind of go and hopefully that will work. We will soon find out. Okay, so I went ahead and it's several minutes later. My stamp is still a little wet. So what I did is I actually have some this is trace paper that I got for my youngest daughter. And what I'm gonna do is I wanna flip the page so that way I can do the other inks, but I don't want to really mess up the other page. So I am just going to kind of do this. And that way I don't have to worry about the ink. But this will give you a good idea of what inks look like on the back end of Tomoe River Paper. It's honestly not that bad. I had to press down pretty hard with this ink so that way I could get a good swatch. But when you're in actuality using, you know, little stamps, you're probably not going to press that hard to where you're going to have that much of a bleed through. So we have 4 more inks that we're going to go ahead and swatch, and then we're going to call it a day. So we're going to go ahead and get started again. We have let these stamps kind of sit for a little bit. They're for the most part dry, but I'm still going to use the tracing paper just so that way I can protect it and I don't have to worry about it transferring everywhere. But I really quickly wanted to flip to the beginning just so that way we can look and see everything that we just did. And also it allows me to really press down on this to get all of the colors kind of transferred onto that paper. So we'll flip to the first page. So we have our fountain pen ink. We have Diamine Registrars Blue Black, Color vs. Ham, Yonaga or Sailor Yonaga, Diamine Bilberry, and then Diatramentus Document Ink in black, which is what I currently use in my Hobonichi Cousin. And then we have a blank page, and then we're going to start our stamps. These are all Colorverse chalk ink. So we have Jumbo Java, Aegean Blue, Eggplant, Niagara Mist, which is probably one of my favorite colors, Perfect Plumeria, Hint of Pesto, which I also really like. I really like the color green, Pop Purple, Hydrangea, Wheat, which is a really nice color for just kind of subtle stamps. But I will say, if you do end up getting this color in particular for stamping, this is when I press down fairly hard. I have used Wheat on actual stamps and it's really faint. So just be cautious of Wheat. It looks really strong here, but that's only because I pressed really hard. And then the last two stamps that I have are, or the last four stamps, I'm sorry, that I have. We have Sahara Sand, which I also really enjoy. Spanish Olive, Sage, which is probably one of my favorite colors. This is also the color of my current recording room. I painted my walls this color. And then we have Pumpkin Spice. So those are all of my stamps currently as of December of 2023. I do plan on, as I get more proficient in stamping, that if I do get some more stamps, I am going to go ahead and continue on putting them in this notebook so that way I have them and can refer back to them as my planners kind of evolve year after year. So with that, that is everything that I have for this video. Again, if you are curious about how I swatched my other notebook with the pens, Tombow, and Mildliner, then definitely check out that video. And then I am going to be having a lot more videos coming up in the next few weeks on setting up my planner. I have a Hobonichi Cousin that I'm going to be setting up for the first week of January, and then also setting up my January monthly spread. I am also going to be updating my common planner, which I have the vertical weekly, very similar to the Hobonichi weeks, that I'm going to be setting up for the first week of January, and then also for the month of January for that monthly spread. So definitely make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you check out those videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.